Hi, my name is Mandolin Royal, and I'm going to take you for a walk through the fields that our Kune Kune pigs use. I want to show you the worst of the damage that they can cause an area. And here's their primary area with their shelter. And you can see they've got the pasture pretty well gone. But we are in mid-March in Zone 6 in Ohio. And that's to be expected this time of year. The grow season really hasn't kicked off. As you can see, they are way friendly. Scoping me out to see if I brought them any snacks. And this is our boar here. He's 3 years old, and he is daddy to these three. Their mother has a new litter, and she's busy in another field. But what I like about these pigs is that they don't dig deeply. You do want to check your fence lines and make sure they haven't rutted out a giant gap in them. And I'm looking to see what is trying to grow. It looks like mostly fescue right now. This juniper here hasn't been obliterated. This maple still has its root area nicely covered. So far, this fence line's looking pretty good. This is where we installed drainage. Looks like they did play in the gravel a little bit. But the middle of this field turned swampy. So we did have to install a way for that water to get out of it. I think their worst area is back in this corner here. We originally fenced this in just as a basic perimeter before we went and lined the inside of it with hog panels when we decided we needed more space for the pigs. So it looks like in here they've gotten into the top 6 to 8 inches of soil. They've churned up some rocks that weren't here before. But it looks like a really thorough tilling job. They have had access to this area for almost 3 years now. The soil is now a different color. It used to look more clay than topsoil. Now it looks like more topsoil than clay. So when we go for reseeding and regrowth and we pull them off of here, the soil is going to be pretty incredible. There's the turkeys. Their area is also going to need to be reseeded. So I'm going to bounce them into our apple orchard area. Let them work on that while their home area catches up. They had grass coming into winter, but it doesn't take long for them to eat it down. And that's the same with pastured pigs. They're going to eat everything in front of them. This area looks great. They've churned it, but they haven't put deep ruts into it. That'll stay nice and smooth when we have to mow it later in the season. Looks like there's only one spot back in that back corner where we might need to do some rolling. The rest of this stayed pretty level. That pile of wood in the middle is tornado damage from last summer that came out of that maple. Blew the top right out of it. That was pretty annoying. But it looks like we can reintroduce some other pasture varieties. I don't see any clover coming in. Looks like just the fescue is trying. So we'll go ahead and cover up their access where we have a little opening there. I'll just put some sections of hog panel there. Then we'll reseed all this and keep them off of it while it gets established. And then when it's about mid-calf height, we'll turn them loose so they can start eating it down again. We'll probably reseed in there and build a different shelter in this back area so we can really rotate a lot better. But these definitely don't destroy the ground as badly as bigger pigs. The shorter nose varieties are a lot easier on the ground. This area got a little choppy, but still just the top 6 inches or so. I really like the color change in the soil. This is going to be nice dirt. More on this later as we get into the pasture growing season. This is a spot where we haven't had animals, but it benefits from the runoff of where we have animals. And this grass is coming in bright green, really dense, really thick at the beginning of the season, and we didn't have to do anything to it. We're gonna have to cut grass at the end of March, which is weird. It's an early start for this part of the country in southwestern Ohio. But this is nice. So I'm gonna pull a little bit of it up and share it with Betty and her babies, who are right at 8 weeks old, weaning. 3 of their litter mates have already gone on to their new homes. We have these 3 remaining. We're probably going to keep the 2 black and white ones, especially this tank. I named her Tara the Tank. She's a big girl. She has a lot of body width, and in terms of pork production, that's important, just like it is in poultry. Very good pigs. I love their size. There's meat for the freezer without being giant. She's 3 years old. Perfectly reasonable size. And you're so pretty. I like their temperaments. They're very easy. But here soon, she's going to have to go back to the home field and wean off these piglets. She's starting to get pretty tired of them. But I'm amazed at this grass coming in so early in the season. Nicely dense.